I am fully mentally prepared to trigger people on this video because it is a very unpopular opinion, but I believe somebody has to say it. It's important that it's said. I'm a pretty big fan of Katt Williams. He got me through some dark times when I was a teenager. I used to watch comedy just to get away from my thoughts, and he's hilarious. So Katt was recently on the Shannon Sharp podcast, and he said a lot of stuff. He called out a lot of comedians, a lot of actors, saying that they stole other comedians' jokes. And go watch the podcast. It's a lot of just calling people out. But in between the call outs, there were a lot of criticism. Now, every time Shannon Sharp was like, oh, because it was like big information he was saying, Katt Williams kept replying with, well, I'm just telling the truth. And a lot of people fact checked Katt Williams, and he was in fact right for a lot of the stuff. So everybody's kind of in shock because he did call out a lot of people. But he also, with the truth, added a lot of criticism. Criticism is not truth. Criticism is things that we feel emotionally about other people that are just a reflection or a perception of what we experienced with them. Now, I'm not going to give the examples he gave because I thought they were very condescending. He was calling out women, and instead of saying certain men have wives a certain way, instead of just saying, hey, these wives are like this, he added in his little criticism and judgment. So although he said the truth about a lot of stuff, which is good because I believe that people should own their shit, I do think that Katt Williams didn't really own his shit. Meaning the criticisms that came after the facts were not owned. So I know a lot of you must be like, why are you even bringing this up? It's not even important. It is because what happened on a big scale all over social media, and we're all watching it, happens also in our family individually. Let me explain. Let's say me and you are siblings and you do something that you know is not right. And I call you out to your face and you deny it. And then I go and call you out and I tell the truth to our family, to everybody around us. Me telling them what you did factually is one thing. Me telling them what you did, but adding what type of person you are, stupid, fat, ugly, all of that stuff is just me judging and criticizing. And it is kind of a form of bullying. I become no better than the people that I'm criticizing. Sometimes it feels good because I feel bigger and better that I called out liars. But in the end, my criticism kind of discredits the lying. Facts are never self-projections. Like if I see a wall, it doesn't make me a wall. If I see a zebra, it doesn't make me a zebra. But emotionally, how do I feel about the zebra? What are the adjectives that I use when I describe a zebra? And the adjectives that Katt Williams used to describe those people or to describe their wives or their family members or whoever were not kind. It reminds me of something that happened to me a couple of years ago when a bully was criticizing me and judging me and didn't like me and tried to gang up a whole bunch of people against me because of his perception. And I clapped back. I tried to match that person's energy. And I ended up being equally just as fault with that person. But then, took me some time, I took a step back and realized, do I hate them? No. Do I have any animosity or anger towards them? No, I don't. So let me rise above it. Doesn't mean that I have to be around this person. Doesn't mean that I have to engage. But rise above means I'm going to set some boundaries and I'm not going to disrespect that person the way they're disrespecting me. So although I do agree 100% in taking accountability, I also don't like when people lie. And I think it's good to call people out and it's good for people to own their shit. I wrote a book called How to Own Your Shit. But I do think that when we call people out, we should stick with facts, because when we start adding our emotions, our perceptions, and our judgments and criticisms, then we are just projecting our hidden hurt parts of ourselves onto others. Remember, calling people out is amazing, but we need to stick with facts. If I see a wall, it's a wall. If it's a stupid wall, maybe the stupid feeling has something to do with a hurt part of myself that I'm projecting on the wall.